Running plays, open J's, and open run. If we talking about breaks and shooters filling lanes, all my dogs is down for war. You can tell how they train. Coaches coach and players play, but they learn from each other. If the roles are versus Jason Kidd, we assist one another. Making strides for a ship in the regular season. Lacing up these nights of band of brothers, turning into some demons. Through the season, spring to fall, we gon' see who is working. When the winter hit the surface, gon' see who deserve it. Left competition in the dust, now the options deserted. Only lions in my circle, we hungry for purpose. Not just giving all these stripes, you can see that I earned them. Can't buck the system, take the knowledge and study and learning. Be as strong as the weakest, 1 to 12 is equal. Try to trap me so hard now, you know I had to thread the needle. You know I had to thread the needle, try erase and draw it up, just trying to see my youngins in. Yeah, you know I had to thread the needle, try erase and draw it up, just trying to see my youngins in.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Coaches Show for the coaches by the coaches. Today we have another special guest in the building, Brian Inge. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. BI's with DMV Elite, man. We got some good questions, man, that people been asking about getting you on because we already know you're a good guy on and off the court, man, businessman, coach. It's going to be some questions for you, man. The panel has already prepared their pregame speeches, and we ready to jump off. Is that okay with you?
Man. Let's get to it.
All right. So I'm going to turn you over to first coach is Coach Desmond Small.
Hey, what's going on, Inge?
My guy, what's going on with you?
Ain't too much, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. My guy, you the one who got me with the Blue Devils, recruited me. Fun fact about that, he got me with the Blue Devils. But we're going to get right into your question. The question I have for you today is, for you, could you explain like your basketball background? How did you end up in coaching? Like kind of go through your whole basketball journey and how or where you at today.
Okay. Starting in high school, I started at Bishop McNamara. Played freshman as a freshman, JV as a sophomore. That summer transferred to National Christian. On that team, we had the most famous one, of course, is Kevin Durant, but we had Abdullah Jallo, Jesse Sabb, Deron Washington, Chris Matthews, Chris Cole. Y'all know Miss Fat Cat. So we had a lot of good guys, a lot of talent. From there, went to a Division II school, West Virginia Wesleyan. Was there for a little bit, got hurt, transferred to Pfeiffer down in Conference Carolinas. My good man Chuck Henry, he knows about that conference. And then I finished up at school in New Hampshire to finish out. But from there, I had some opportunities to play a little bit of pro, opportunity to play. Went to a couple little workouts, played well, got to the well, and I realized didn't really want to do it. So next best thing, just get back into training. Started there, and then got into coaching at Bishop McNamara. From there, things grew, kept growing, and the Blue Devils got hot. We had that going really well for a while, and from there just hit the ground running. We've always been doing events, so we kind of just tied in and kept growing along with everything else. And then now you see with DMV Elite, what it is now.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate you sharing the knowledge. Some people probably might not know you got a playing background and you just coaching at a high level and everything like that. So we appreciate you sharing that information. I'm gonna pass it to the next coach, Coach Will Maynard from Southern.
B, what's good, man?
Will, what's going on with you?
Nothing much. Like Echo what Small said. It's great to have you on there. And, I always liked your work. I only know if you remember that when I first met you, like before we started working we did the DMV Elite 80 together. I remember I hit you up to ask you about some drills because you had posted some videos online, and I hit you up. And I was like, oh, I need that. You get back into training. You did. I like your drills, man. You did some good training, man. I like that, man.
Appreciate that. I need to get back into it. It's been a while.
Yeah. I told you that a while ago, man. You ain't been listening.
No, I'm going to get back to it. I had to take a break, but I'm going to get back into it.
Good. I'm sure some kids will be happy to hear that.
I'm sure. I've been doing a little bit, but not as much as I used to. Like recently, I've just been focusing on the guys and girls that I've had since they were little kids. And now a lot of them are graduating college or about to. So just getting them ready for the next step of their lives, whether that's, you know, basketball or trying to get ready to get into the something like that.
Well, I can understand that. So my question for you is, I like to know, what made you decide to get out of coaching? You know, when I first met you, you was at McNamara, you and those guys. You guys had a good thing going. I used to see you guys yelling like crazy from the bench when you was coaching with Keith Line. So what made you get out of it?
That's a good question. Really, I think it was a lot of factors. At the time, I was coaching at McNamara while also doing a lot of stuff with the Blue Devils, while also doing a lot of stuff with DMV Elite, and while also maintaining like a full-time job and stuff like that. So it got to be a lot. After a while at McNamara, be perfectly honest with you, just got burnt out. Just needed a break. You know, everything happened with the Blue Devils and stuff like that. And I'd already planned to take some time off, but after a while, I just need a break, just recharge my battery. I was actually talking to some people recently. I might get back into it, might get back on the sidelines, but just needed a break, recharge the battery, and do some different things.
But yeah, you took my second part of my question. It's good to hear that you said you would see yourself back on the sideline. As an assistant or a head, or it wouldn't matter?
I would say assistant. I like the flexibility to do other things. I know the head job comes with a lot of responsibility, and you got to really be locked into that. So I think, you know, my skills, I like to move around, be diverse in the things I get myself involved with. So I think I'd be better used being like a head assistant or associate head coach, something like that.
Something like that. I understand that one. I appreciate your answers on that one, and I'm going to pass it along to John Kamar, Parkdale High School.
Appreciate that.
What's going on, B? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. Glad to have you. See, I'm rocking your shirt right now, Summer Madness. Waiting for some more of your events to, kick off if it's possible this summer.
Hopefully so.
All right. So my question to you is, you just said you got burnt out, coaching, and to one of those things, it was the growth of DMV Elite. So can you explain to the people that may not know, what is DMV Elite? Why is it, effective in this area? And what is your role with the DMV Elite?
Okay. So DMV Elite is a grassroots company built to promote student athletes we started out in the DMV and give opportunities where we could, assist in like their recruitment platform, recruitment and stuff like that. So my role, I am the general manager. So I oversee all of the events within DMV Elite and kind of shape the strategies and stuff like that for the organization. What's the next part of the question?
Why is it like highly effective, in the area?
Oh, so like if you look at it, our area is known for the hoops hotbed. Like, as you see now with KD's film about to come out in May in the water, but it's always been like this. But we weren't always getting the same publicity we were getting now. So DMV Elite and Chris Lawson, like when he first came up with the idea, it was just to promote student athletes in our area, to give them, the shine that other parts of the area was getting, who didn't have necessarily the talent that we have here, right? So, I mean, like DMV Elite, our main mission is just like to keep, giving everyone the opportunity giving student athletes opportunity to get that shine, really, So like a lot of our events, we have been able to grow exponentially within the last 3 years or so. And I think that's because, we've really put a focus on, not just the media, but the actual showcase events where college coaches or scouts and writers can come to the events. But we're trying to foster environments where everyone can connect and get an opportunity that may well be outside of just basketball. Like we've done things where we've been able to help kids get scholarships. We've helped coaches get opportunities to get, not necessarily coaching jobs, but other opportunities. So just being people where we can connect, who's who, like A to B and stuff like that. Because we know this area is great for hoops, but I mean we can do a lot of other things outside of just being on the court, and that's kind of what you'll see in the future with a lot of stuff that we're trying to implement.
Yeah, I definitely can attest to that. You know, going to a DMV Elite event is always, you know, you'll get a good conversation with a nice coach, you know, and just the interaction. So sometimes you go to the event just to interact and just to see what's going on in DMV, and you always, you know, get caught up to date if you go up to a DMV Elite event. So I'm gonna pass it to Coach O from Bladensburg High School.
B.I., what's going on, my guy?
What's up, O? How you doing?
Not much. Good to have you, man. Just, you know, like we say all the time, man, it's great to have good people, great people on and have conversations like these. One of the questions that came up, and we're on the topic of DMV Elite, one of the big things that I really appreciated from DMV Elite is the showcases and how you guys are able to put on some event sort of like the DMV Elite 80, you know, and I know that's a tough thing to do as far as like trying to get 80 guys out of the whole DMV. And I know somebody always going to be upset about why this kid didn't get the invite. But for the people, can you explain the process of how kids are actually selected so people can have a better understanding?
Sure. So for the DMV Elite 80, like that was like that is one of our marquee events. And the whole emphasis is to showcase not necessarily the top 5 or top 10 kids in each class, but the guys who aren't getting as much exposure. And this is their opportunity to really play against some of the better known guys and just showcase what they can do. So it's not just a selection where it's myself or Marcus and we're just, you know, going through and saying, no, we want this guy, we want this guy. No, we talked to probably anywhere from 20 to 25 coaches, sometimes 30, getting opinions on what, you know, players from other regions, getting strengths and weaknesses, stuff like that. So it's never a thing where you're getting just 2 opinions. You're getting something that's universal, that from people who are really respected for like 4A, 3A, 2A, WCAC, Baltimore Catholic League, wherever. And we're talking to scouts and media as well. We're trying to get the best, the most opinions to form the best opinion for to see who gets into the DMV 80.
That makes perfect sense, man, because I know for one, me and John and Dez, even Chuck, when we did the Crab Ball Classic, trying to find 12 to 13 kids that represent the PG side of DC is very, very tough, man. So I definitely understand the process and how tough it can be at times, man. But
a lot of work kids too.
I'm sure. And for y'all to get insight from other coaches, that's a great thing as well. So we definitely appreciate that information. So I'm gonna pass you on to our good friend. We like to call him. We coined the title Championship Chuck. So we gonna Championship Chuck take the stage.
I like that.
Oh man, what's up, bro?
Doug, what's good with you?
Oh man, I'm great, man. So look, I'm gonna share a story, man. Like me and B used to play all the time back at the old Run and Shoot when they first opened up. And I think that's when we met for the first time. And at that time, that's when like Run and Shoot was in its heyday. You know, everybody came through. I remember one night I'm in there playing, and R. Kelly came through, and he had a busload of women with him. You know, I think you might have been in there with me the day when Zab Judah came in there, and he was just trying to get a workout, and some dude just kept fouling him, and he don't know who he is, and so all of a sudden, he found the dude, and he was like, "Man, what you gonna do?" He kind of like jumped in his face, and this man ran from all the way across the gym and was like, "Hey, yo, come in." And so all you see is he just kind of talking to him. Boom, you can't hear what he's saying. And he was like, you can tell he explained it to him like, dude, he the champ.
They knocked up. Nah, I wouldn't remember that one. I wish I was. That's hilarious.
I know, right? So give me your best, before I get my question, give me your best run and shoot story.
Ooh, best run and shoot story. That's a great question. Best run and shoot story. All right. The summer after KD got drafted, when all the pros we didn't play on the main court. We played on court 3 or 5, the front court, the small one, and it was like every day you get 15 to 20 pro guys up there. Man, I remember one time I'm guarding Baby Shaq. he put me in the post 3 straight possessions, and I'm pushing, like trying to, you know what I'm saying, body up. Man, he put me in the basket 3 straight times. That's my run and shoot story. That was at the time I was sad, but looking back, that was hilarious. I mean, I'm fighting, he just drop step, dump, boom, bump me off. You know what I'm saying? Power layup. Yeah, Shaq is the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my cousin, man. So trust me, I know. That's my guy right there. All right, so man, my question is, tell me a little bit more about the DMV Elite in reference to. I'm sorry. I'm backtracking. Although you're not on the sidelines anymore, and you work closely with like local D1 athletes, like with Keith Williams, what's your role? Tell me the impact that you have on those kids. Just name some of the kids that you work with, some of the guys that you had an opportunity to work with, and some of the guys that you are working with now, and where you see things kind of progressing for you.
Okay. Over the years, I had a ton of guys I work with. Like right now, Corey Mango from New Mexico. He went to politics around here. Work with him. Helping him try to get ready for the next stage of his life. Like I think he's gonna have opportunity to play some professional basketball. Jeff Doughton, Rhode Island. I've known Jeff since we had him with the Blue Devils. He was like 16 years old. On the girls' side, Amari Carter, who just finished at Arizona, trying to help her decide if she wants to play professionally or get into the working force. She wants to work in sports, so she might have the opportunity to do some things with like the NBA PA or maybe some stuff out west. But other than like in high school, in college, the Mitchell twins, trying to help them as much as possible. Casey Morcell, and whoever, like any high school kids I've ever come across. Like the kids that are in high school now, they kind of like I know them, but I didn't really coach them. Like they caught the end of the Blue Devils. So like I got a few kids I'm trying to help as much as possible. But that's about it right now.
You ever thought about going to like the next level or the highest level, maybe like the NBA, and work out some of those guys?
I had before. I worked out a few pros back in the day. I do, but I think my goals go beyond being on a basketball court. So when I was younger, that was something that I really wanted to do. But as I got older and kind of like my goals and ambitions changed, like it's something I still want to do, but it's not the main thing I want to do per se.
Gotcha. Okay. Nah, I appreciate that, man. It's always great talking to you. My guy, ever since you used to torch me up the run and shoot, Lamar Butler, Joey Butler, all y'all played on the same team like every day, it seemed like.
No, let me tell the story. So one time, so I ain't really know Chuck. I just know, I'm saying, he like this 6'5", 6'6" dude, super athletic, shooter for real. So Chuck tried to house me. So he got the lay. I wasn't playing D like that for real. So Chuck tried to house me, power layup on me. So I get it. I run down. I try to get Chuck I probably try to west side him or something like that. Man, when I say Chuck blocked that thing right back in my face and went down and did like the LeBron or like the Scottie Pippen dunk. That's why I call you the hood Scottie Pippen, because you get that joint the cock to the side, like that. I was like, yo, who is this dude? But no, that's my story about Chuck.
My man. Hey, I appreciate you, Brian, man. Always great talking to you, man. Continue to, do what you're doing. Everything that you put your hands on in terms of basketball has been really great in this area. Like one of those dudes that don't have one negative word to say about you, man. And I think every coach has something positive to say and a positive interaction that you've had with their kids. Man, it ain't too many dudes like that in this business, in this area, man. So appreciate everything that you do. Keep grinding. Tell my man Chris, I said, what's up? Keep doing what you're doing, and definitely stay on top of Marcus Helton, man. He be falling asleep behind them glasses sometimes.
No, I appreciate you. I'm gonna talk to Marcus too. He got 2 babies now, so he's super dad. So
yeah, more power to him, man.
I appreciate
that. At least
that,
he ain't got to go out there the soccer right now on Sundays and they get an obliterator, like he said.
Nah, they got him behind the house in the cul-de-sac. Like, he getting that soccer work out there.
Oh, he getting that soccer work, huh? All right, that's what's up. All right, well, I'm gonna throw the behind the back pass to my man Tobias Jennifer on the wing for the catch and shoot. Tobias, all yours.
I appreciate that, man. What's up, B? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Tobias?
Nothing much, man. I just want to say appreciate you being on the show today. You know, we've had a few interactions, you know, in person, and I'm definitely grateful for what you've been able to do for Huntingtown basketball. You know, we down. You know, the guys joke and they try to say that we're down in the boonies or we in a different state, but you know, I definitely appreciate what you do for us. You know, I think, you know, we were in one of the first DMV Elite fall leagues, and I think we took home the crown that year. And you were, you know, supportive as all get out and getting us into the league and being supportive throughout it. And then just all the other events that you've gotten some of our kids into, and just giving us a chance to be recognized, especially down here in the SMAC. You know, we don't get much representation or recognition anyway. So I'm very appreciative of what you and the DMV have done for us.
No, for sure. Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man, I appreciate that. So my question for you, and I'm just sitting back listening, you know, hearing your background story and things that you've been involved in and the things that you do. So being someone that has coached basketball at the high school level and AAU level, can you give us your take on the current state of the basketball game in the DMV, especially, you know, with AAU and the uncertain, you know, with everything going on, so in the high school game?
As it's fluid at best is what I say. Like, you know, last year with the AAU live period's been cut down, and then this year was supposed to be the NCAA's second year to implement their camp structure, whatever. Then Corona hits, and you know, now kids, you know, they can't finish out their high school careers, and some of them they're fighting for even get scholarships or, you know, whatever right now. You know, so yeah. When I say fluid, it's kind of you just play the wait and see approach. Like every day we're learning. You know, we're learning what this new landscape is. You know, and that's from like the parents who have to deal with their kids' recruitments to the coaches who are helping with recruitment to the guys like myself who are trying to help kids or organize showcase events, stuff like that. To the high school, to the college coaches, because they don't, you know, they don't know who they want. I mean, of course, a lot of them high major D1s and mid majors, they've got their list, but you know, low D1s, D2 and D3s and JUCOs and NAIAs, they're pretty much still recruiting. You know, it's a year round thing. So it's everyone's learning from day to day. I think with the people we have in place, like good coaches like yourselves, I think parents are. You haven't heard anything negative about a parent right now, doing what they can to keep their kids along, and NCAA putting in mechanisms or release valves to at least, you know, try to straighten out some of this stuff. I mean, it'll work out. It'll be interesting to see how, you know, this thing does end out. But, you know, like I said, just gotta learn every day.
Oh man, absolutely, man. It's definitely a tough situation because I had a few kids on my team, and I even know a few kids, you know, in the area that definitely looked forward to those events. You know, I think there was a unsigned senior event that you guys put together that some guys look forward to, and that could be their shot to get, you know, to that next level, whatever level it may be. So, you know, those things, you know, it hurts, especially with everything going on. But man, I appreciate you. I appreciate your answer, man. Your honesty. And you know, I'm gonna throw the alley-oop lob back over to John.
Appreciate you.
Yo, B. So I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. You know, piggyback off of what Coach Chuck said. You know, he stated something that was very well stated, saying like you don't have, like when somebody says Brian Ainge, everybody has something positive to say. So with you hosting fall leagues, the DMV Elite, 80 live period warm-ups, and all your events, how are you able to manage, you know, great relationships with all coaches, high school, AAU, in the area, out the area, and how are you able to maintain this the status of your events throughout all the competition that the area brings with basketball?
I think the main thing is just putting people's best interests at heart and putting, myself in their shoes. Because I've been a high school coach. I've been to college. I've been to college school. I've been an AAU coach. Had a coach from really good talent. I've put guys in opportunities to play professionally. I've trained some professionals. So I've seen a lot of different sides of the game. And, one thing for me, like, coming up, some people had to give me a shot and show me some things. So now that I'm kind of in a position where I can kind of like help out, or at least I know what people are looking for, I just try to be, have people's best interests at heart. And that's when any business engagement, stuff like that. So, putting events like this isn't hard necessarily if you're doing it for the right reason. Like when I first started my first event, it was like a spring league. I had 6 teams, and one program had 2 teams, and I put my own team in. So I only really had like 4 or 5 teams, but I was doing it just to, give an opportunity to some kids that I knew needed some work. I had like a team of like D2, D3 kids. So from there, it's just grown and grown. So I just think by just having the right mindset and trying to, like, at least at the very core, do things for others, everything else kind of works out.
Definitely appreciate it, man. Go ahead and pass it to Coach Desmond Small at Washington Venice.
You on mute?
Yeah, he muted.
My bad. My apologies. So going back to, I know you're doing a lot of things like now, with everything that you hosted, like your events and everything through your company. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us a little bit more, like what you're doing with that, how it's affecting student athletes today, and your future plans with everything that you got going on?
Like I said, right now, the main thing I'm trying to do through my company, Inge Consulting Group, so the goal is pretty much to, help student athletes or along that path in their careers, on and off the court. That's where kind of the sports and business career transition event came from. So really, like, just trying to just like build upon that. What was the second part of your question?
I mean, a lot of people don't know. They know you for DMV Elite right now, but you do a lot with your consulting group, hosting events, educating
my
athletes, hosting panels with
and what's next?
With executives and stuff like that, creating opportunities for student athletes and current coaches. Mm-hmm. So what you had with the networking event, like having the XFL director of the defenders and D1 head coaches, and just other opportunities outside of just basketball that you're creating.
Man, that was good, bro. I need to hire you. Like, that was. It's like not definitely. We always had like the sports business event. We've had the networking events and stuff like that. Where we're like, last year was at Bowie State. This year we're going to try to do 3 of them instead of doing like the one big sports and business event. We're going to try to do like a panel event, some workshops, a networking event, and a career simulation day. So working on some other things too, but things that'll feed into that. Hopefully it'll be around, I guess, that last week of October. That's what we're kind of like searching for. So we wanted to be like a, you always have your tech summits or your Black leadership summits. We're going to have like our sports management professional summit, trying to build that up for our kids. And that's something that's really big. I mean, we got all these kids going pro, or that want to go pro or have the opportunity to go pro. But we've got a lot of kids who don't go pro, but they can still be successful entrepreneurs, businessmen, professionals, or surrounding the game, or doing something that has something completely not to do with basketball, So that's what we're looking for. We had some plans, but this thing with Corona, backed it up. Chuck and I had kind of flirted with the idea of doing like a panel and workshops around the PG All-Star game. at the senior all-star game. But, like I said, with this Corona thing, kind of pushed things back. But we're gonna keep pushing, man. We got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Can't really talk about too much right now, but once things clear up right now, we'll be back up and running, and plans will be made clear.
Well, that's good. I mean, I can attest. I've been invited to a lot of them, due to my crazy schedule coaching college basketball, and I wasn't always able to attend. But recently, I got an opportunity to attend, and I can just for the people who are gonna be listening, it was major opportunities, jobs were being handed out, internships was being handed out from. And a lot of it was based on sports relationships, and even though they wasn't directly in sports, all of those relationships that you built, and I noticed from networking, created other opportunities and everything like that. So that's a major component, because like we said, everybody can't always be a professional basketball player, but through the networking, through basketball, can create other major opportunities for you to make major money, and have a huge impact on that. So I just I appreciate you sharing light on that, and looking forward to the next one. So I'm gonna pass it to the next coach.
Okay.
All right, I'm back, man. That was some good insight, man. Like I said, I've been taking my notes down and just trying to make sure I remember things. And I'm gonna have to get with Dez to find out when those opportunities come up, because it's needed, and not just us, so we can pass off the information to other people as well, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of those invites.
Yeah. So definitely that. Now as coaches, we spend a lot of time brainstorming off one another and getting ideas and stuff like that. So before I get into the next part, I want you to tell us a little bit about Hoop Natty. What is it called? Hoop Natty?
Hoopanati.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Hoopanati. It's something like when I first started training and stuff like that, a group of kids, we kind of, just started calling ourselves the Hoopanati. And it was cool, and it kind of just ran with it. But from there, it's kind of just like a brand I'm pushing, I'm associated with. I have big plans with it for the future. But like I said, right now, I just want to give credit to the guys who it started with. Just 7-10 guys who just like to get in the gym, hoop, and from there we just call ourselves the Hoopanati and just ran with it.
Yeah, that's cool. And then John Kamara, he has on the summer veteran shirt. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that a little bit too for the people?
So that's the
get a summer veteran shirt.
Summer veteran. So that's for all our guys. What I'm saying, coaches, players, everybody, parents. Every summer you out here, AAU tournaments. You going to practice. You going to hotels eating waffles every Saturday and Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? You in the gym all night. You traveling all night. Going to school tired. You know what I'm saying? Crying, complaining, getting offers as well. The good and bad. You do it every summer, 10 years, and you look back, you're like, man, I've been through it. Like, I'm a veteran at this. I'm a summer veteran. You've been through it. You earned your stripes.
Right. And look, hey, Tobias, some of that veteranship come from them good hotel breakfast in the morning.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I lay down on that damn waffle maker.
Definitely. You're absolutely right on that.
Waffle House. Cookout, all of them.
The cookout for sure.
When the kids find out how cheap the cookout is, that's the key. They be like, I get all this for what?
$5.
Big facts.
You know what I mean? So I definitely understand. So we're going to turn it up a notch right here, man, because I know it's going to be difficult. And I heard you say 3 times. That's a great question. This one right here, I want you to name your top 5 area basketball players that you would have on your starting 5.
What's my age group?
That's a great question. Let's go. Let's get a high school kid. So a lot of kids not in school. Let's go high school.
High school.
Let's go. High school right now.
Okay, I go high school right now. Then we'll do the college and like maybe the first couple.
There you go.
Okay, high school. I had a 5 right now. All right, I'm gonna start with Trevor Kill. I'm not going. Am I counting high school seniors as well?
Any high school senior, junior, underclass, no matter.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Trevor Kill, Jeremy Roach. For my big man, I'm going with Hunter Dickinson, Earl Timberlake as my wing guard because he can play four positions. And that last spot, I would go with, I'm gonna go with some length. I'm gonna go different on this one. I'm gonna go with Benny Williams because I need length.
All right. I see a lot of people nodding their head through all those picks. That's a good job. Now, how about college?
College, and this is just like picking a team.
Yeah,
college of local players, so I would go.
Yeah, local.
Luka Gaza, easy. I go Ann Cowan at the point. I would go at my four man. Or do I even need to go with a four man?
I mean, there's somebody on
Chris Light. I'm gonna go with the super small backcourt. I'm gonna go with Chris Light and Ann Cowan in the backcourt.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Luka Garza at the 5. I'm gonna go Sadiq Bey as my swing man.
Ooh.
And then I need somebody who can switch out, who can hit shots. Who can switch out and hit shots. Somebody give me a swing man. Give me a wing defender, slasher.
Jamarco.
Najee.
Oh yeah, Najee. Good God.
Najee.
I'm going Najee Marshall.
How you forget Sticks?
That's fine.
I was surprised you didn't mention Sticks though.
I'm going with Luka. I'm going with Luka. Who's going to score? I'm going with Sadiq. I'm gonna go with Sadiq. He can switch out. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going against the 5-man and
you're right.
Nah, man, he averaged 26 and whatever it was. I'm going with Luka.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now,
Okay, I'm going small around it. We're gonna switch everything.
Now, I don't mean to take over your spotlight. Now, B, I don't mean to put you on the spot for real, but those 5 high school kids you named, I'm a public school coach. Those 5 high school kids you named was all private. Can you give us 5 public school kids?
I'm gonna go with kid from Oxon Hill for sure. He actually, I would. You know what? I could potentially take him over Roach, and I know Roach the All-American. So like from building the team, because if you're building the team, you necessarily need him because Trevor gonna have the ball a lot too. Either one of them gonna have the ball a lot. So other guard needs to complement him better. So potentially he would be my 6th man. He would be somebody my 6th man.
And see what you're doing too with your 5. Well, a lot of people don't understand, and I kind of like get it because you playing 2K. You're actually trying to play a game. You know what I mean? You ain't just putting together the best 5. I want these positions out there so everybody can play together.
Exactly.
All right, so you got Polite. You got Polite on your public school.
I got Polite. I got Dyke. How you say it? Dykey? Dyches. I got I like you know what, man? I like the kid from Montgomery County, Giles. I like him.
Yeah, he's tough. That's 3 tough ones. He ain't got no height though right now though.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Exactly. I might have to just go small.
I'm gonna give you one in my conference though. I ain't, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna speak up for my conference.
Westlake, I'm gonna go with him.
You mean the kid from West? Oh yeah. God, what's his name?
Cam Tweedy.
Cam Tweedy. And then just throw me like a utility kid in there. I need somebody to go hard.
All right, now we're gonna get to the pros. Pros, meaning I guess we can go with just NBA professional basketball. Means
still local though.
Local.
KD for sure,
no doubt. Now, when you say local, you talking about Baltimore too?
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. Am I doing DC and Baltimore?
That's up to y'all. I'm from North Carolina. We don't do that. You know what I mean?
We don't even. I'm gonna go with KD. The pros right now. What? I can still pick KD, even though he was.
Yeah, you can still pick KD. We gonna pick for the in the water version. Give me your in the water PG County version.
I'm gonna give you my five. I'm gonna give you my five, and not necessarily everybody in the NBA. Give me KD. Give me KD. Give me Chris Wright. Give me Marcus Thornton. I need a big. Give me.
You got T-Rob out there, Thomas.
Who else?
The Grant brother.
He'll win for real.
Beasley.
Michael wing too. Ain't no big. All right.
Jeff Green, Dante.
Give me Jeff Green.
Oh yeah, got Roy Hibbert. Nah, he out the league.
I wanted to pick Roy, but he out the league. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to get. Not another score. And I got KD. I got Jeff. I got Marcus. I got Chris Wright. Give me.
I go to NBA champion, man.
Go Quinn.
No brainer, man. Remember Quinn, was looking. See, that's an excellent job, man. Because last person we had up here was like, it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? And like Chuck always said, everything is always so subjective. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For the sake of conversation, and everybody's gonna pick somebody different. You know what I mean? So definitely appreciate you on that one. Now
we pick a team, not the best players. You want to pick a team.
Yeah, a team. So definitely appreciate on that one. So our next thing that we normally do about this time is give you the floor a little bit. If you want to ask a question, if you want to talk about a certain topic, you want to pick something to ask somebody that's in the group or something like that, you definitely have the floor this time.
All right. So what do y'all think is gonna happen as far as like the high school season next year? Well, this upcoming year, I should say.
That's a tough one. I
think it's gonna get pushed back. Oh, my bad, but I know you're talking. I think it's gonna get pushed back. I think at the end of the day, we have to have football for financial reasons. Mm-hmm. I think that they'll push football back, and I think basketball might mess around, not start until January.
Yeah, I definitely was gonna say it's gonna get shortened.
I can see that. happening.
It just sucks, man, because like we talked about during some of your questions, man, some of these kids are not just they're missing out on all these opportunities that are in front of them. Mm-hmm. They're not getting that AAU, they're not getting that summer league. They might potentially and probably not even gonna get that fall league. Whatever type of hoop group individual camps they could go to or whatever the case may be. They're missing out on all of that, whereas you may be able to find that diamond in the rough. And
right.
You know, I've talked to 2 or 3 college coaches in the last couple of days emailing me about, hey, man, we can't get out, but, you know, this is my way of trying to recruit now, and I just want to get any information I can on your kids or any kids in your area, and that's a tough way to go about it.
It's rough.
Yeah, man. So I feel bad for these kids, man. These seniors that were probably going to play AAU, and then these juniors coming up.
Spring and summer is going to be interesting. Like, I think it's going to take probably 2 years before everything gets kind of like sorted out and cleaned up again. Like next year is probably going to be like a free for all. Like, it's going to be like 7 live periods. High school live period, AAU live period, rec league live period, church league live period.
See, I think, hey, B, you know what I think was going to be the biggest issue is?
What's up?
It's going to be because so many coaches have taken kids without them visiting schools and stuff like that, not being able to recruit them the right way, the transfer portal is going to be off the hook. So these high school kids are going to be in trouble. So I'm going to tell my kids, if you get an offer in the fall, you need to accept it because in the spring, you're going to be competing against that portal.
Exactly.
I'm just going to tell my kids, you get something in the fall, man, you got to take it because you're taking a big risk the way this portal is going to be probably next year.
And that's why I say it's going to take 2 years for this thing to get straightened out, because you look at the 2021 guys coming up for recruitment, and then you got the transfer portal. So like the market, if you look at things like in the stock markets type stuff, it's not going to be straightened out or like normalized for at least. You're not going to know what's real or what's only happening because you're trying to get back on track. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean,
my next question.
I just wanted to add to that. I think it's going to be much worse because next year the transfer rule would be in effect where you can transfer and play immediately. Exactly. So I think that's going to make it even more crazy moving forward, and that's going to have a huge effect on the 2021 class too.
It's going to be a lot of transfers, a lot of quick signs. You won't see a lot of decommitments. It's going to be interesting. College basketball is going to be interesting. And the G League is going to be interesting. Over the NBL in Australia, that's going to be interesting. Everything's going to be changed. I mean, it might even be longer than that because you really don't know what the norm is going to be if you look at all this stuff that's going on right now, like different things. Like you just said, and you add in like the kids going pro out of high school, that rule being lifted. And then you look at the coronavirus pandemic where everything being pushed back. And then you look at what the NCAA is doing with trying to change what is meant by being a student athlete. That's going on. I mean, it's just so much happening at one time period that it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, I agree, man. But I think, too, on the flip side of it, I kind of like see it as a blessing in disguise because just on the other side of things, like a lot of kids, they getting the opportunities now through other coaches. Now you starting to see who the real coaches are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's very true.
Now everybody's calling, everybody's texting, sharing information. People are actually reaching out. I mean, people actually have time now to actually return an email. You know what I mean? So you send an email with some kid's information, they're returning it. You know what I mean? So it's been a blessing to guys on my end from what I see. Because last year this time, I sent out an email, I might not hear nothing back. And then when I do hear something back, the kid already made a decision. You know what I mean? So it's definitely two sides to it, man. So it's definitely tough, though. I mean, I swear. I mean, I can only imagine to be a senior now to go through something like this. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to keep it as normal as possible. I just started the basketball awards like we would normally do the athletic awards at the end of the year. Still trying to keep the same normal thing as much as possible through social media so these kids can have some type of, something, man. Because I know it's got to be tough, especially if you graduate. I mean, you have no prom, you have no graduation. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to go down in the record books. You know what I mean?
Not for real. And that summer going to college is always legendary. Like, that's one of the best summers of your life.
Right. Definitely,
man. So with y'all, I mean, we got a lot of guys who coach or who have coached some AAU up here. Now, who's going? Like, let's get spicy real quick. Who's going to have the best? The best team this summer?
DC Premier 16U.
I'm going to second that. I'm going to second the 16U mob, DC Premier.
Coach Chris Douglas. We have a legit squad this summer, man.
Yeah, I've seen some of the guys on you. Yeah, it's gonna be DC Premier always puts one together, but you can't take away, no pun intended, from Takeover, man. With the quality that they put out there is just second to none.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Which team was you on the summer, Tobias?
Me, Chuck, and O, and Dez, not Dez Smalls, but Dez Wade. We do Takeover 17 Orange, though.
That team's always really good.
Yeah, so it's crazy because, and we were talking about this with another guest who was on. People see that Takeover, man. It doesn't matter if you the EYBL team or you the Orange team. They see that Takeover, they like, oh my God, So I thought that was pretty cool for the kids, and it was different for me watching other teams that are playing AAU run up and watch our games. Like, yo, what you supposed to be doing right now? But you watching us So I thought that was always a cool dynamic. But, you know, just the track record that TakeOver has, you know, they always put out quality and quantity. So, you know, that's my pitch for the summer. So, you know, it's a no-brainer to me. That's if we have anything this summer.
Yeah, I got to agree with you too, Tobias, because, man, I haven't coached a lot of AAU, but for the AAU that I have coached, to be with TakeOver, it's different. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's different from anybody else, just different from what I'm used to having, you know, and having parents, having quality kids, having practice time, you know what I mean? Having those things, man, it was definitely different, man. And this year, I mean, just that one time that I think we had one workout, that one time with the kids that was in the gym, and that wasn't even everybody. I mean, the orange team was about to be crazy. But the best part about that whole process is that those kids are just coachable. You know what I mean? They listen to you. We got five head coaches on the staff.
Right.
You know, we all men together, we get our ideas, and we start, you know, making the best way possible for all the kids. It's just been a joy, man. Like I told Ronald last year, I used to always call him before we jump ball. All right, man, first team. He looked at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, nah, you're going to be first team all Met. Like, you're going to be first team all Met. You know what I mean? I said, you're going to represent. I'm trying to tell you, because I can see what your tools that you have, man. You're a special player. But the best thing about Ronald, not to just talk about Ronald, he was one of the most coachable kids ever. For a public school kid to be that type of way, not saying our kids are bad, but he was so coachable, man. You know what I mean? And just an excellent teammate. You know what I mean? It was really good. It was refreshing to coach that team, especially Ronald. You know what I mean? Guys like Willie to us was like a coach. You know what I mean? Willie was hurt all the time. Willie was different. You know what I mean? It was just good, man. But definitely.
Can I build on Brian's question really quick?
Yeah.
Brian, no.
DCP.
He asked, you know, what was going to be the best program, you know, but I always felt like, and I think like 2 summers ago, you know, Brian has the event, you know, the DMV Elite live period and the live period warm up, you know, things like that. So when you, how does your scheduling go? Because, you know, when we talk about the best teams, I know you had, you know, certain encounters, you know, when people didn't want to play people. You have that platform. You have that platform to create some of these matchups. How do you feel about that?
About creating the matchups, or like certain teams can't play each other.
Certain teams can't play each other, and you know, just creating the matchups.
I mean, you gotta respect it, and like it goes back to what I said earlier about knowing what, like, being putting everyone else's needs first. You know, and sometimes, I mean, as a competitor and as a fan of the game, you always want to see certain matchups, right? But you know, sometimes they can't happen. But to be fair, in this area, like last spring, summer, I don't think nobody was ducking. You know, like we've gotten a lot better. Like teams from around here, they'll play each other. You know, so we're getting better like that. And by playing one another, we just make each other better. You know, and I think everyone has kind of like realized that. But no, that was a funny question though.
Definitely.
But I'm real quick. I'm gonna give a shout out to the other AAU programs too that I know of, like South River Shooters, Maryland 3D, DB District Ball Club, you know, Sixth Man, you know, all those programs that give kids an opportunity that may not even be on any type of big time circuit, but you know, give those kids an opportunity, you know, because everybody can't make, you know, and I hate to say it, but everybody can't make DC Premier or you know, Boo Williams or Team Takeover or you know, whoever that big team may be. So those other programs do a great job too.
Yeah, they do a great job. I mean, like you say, like with 3 or 4 great programs, and it's even more. I mean, it's more out here. A lot of coaches doing a great job with these kids. I mean, and that's the good thing about this area. Like we've got a lot of good basketball because we got a lot of good people who know basketball. I mean, you've got some coaches who may or may not know what something, but on consensus, you know, our guys around here know this basketball thing.
Damn right.
But but I mean, all these matchups. I mean, like I had some stuff planned for the spring and summer, man. I had some good stuff. Hopefully, we'll get to it if we have a summer. But yeah, we're gonna see these matchups John. You know, I had some good matchup. You know, I always got my little black book with me. So
Definitely.
Hey, just to talk about that, we did. I don't know if you watched the AU show that we had with Oz and Ray and everybody, and maybe there's something you may be able to put together because I know your relationships are strong with every program. Is that they was talking about like a king of the DMV with all of the major circuit teams, you know, competed against each other in like a Final Four bracket. And you know, that's just one little nugget because I know if one dude can pull it off, I believe it's you.
Why you so loud? You loud right now. You loud. Why you so loud? We cooking up, you know. I mean, you cooking up. You kind of loud right now, but yeah, it was some moves in the works. Some moves in the works.
All right, pipe it down then. Pipe it down.
But yeah, nah, that's the goal, man. And I got a few things I'm planning that I think is gonna be dope for everybody. But like I said, we just wait for this thing to clear up. We'll see.
All right, man. It's been a pleasure, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. For the coaches, by the coaches, and we do this because we ask the questions that the people should know, man. And people want to know who you are. Hopefully they got a better understanding on how this DMV Elite 80 thing works, and we try to cover those questions, man. So it's been great talking to you. We definitely appreciate you, man, and thank you so much, and stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll be out of this mess real soon.
Yes, sir. Like, appreciate y'all, man, all the good work y'all do out here, man. Keep it up.
All right, boss, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
It's not the opposite, deserted. Only lions in my circle, we hungry for purpose. Nothing's given, all these stripes, you can see that I earned them. Can't fuck the system, take the knowledge and study and learn it. Be as strong as the weakest, 1 through 12 is equal. Tried to trap me, saw it now, you know I had to thread the needle. You know I had to thread the needle, try erase and draw it up, just trying to see my youngest in. Yeah, you know I had to thread the needle, try erase and draw it up, just trying to see my youngest in.